Welcome, volleyball fans, inside the RAS on the campus of the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy in St. Louis. We have a volleyball match rescheduled from the 1st of September. This 9/11 match on this significant day in U.S. history will be between your hometown UHSP Eutectics, currently 1-4 on the season, and their guests, the Webster University Gorloks. They are currently 1-0. They had a number of matches canceled. Both teams are on the floor, and we will now pause for some commercials.
We are champions of the character. We are champions of the character.
Welcome back inside the RAS. I am Coach K, also known as Steve Kissel. I'm joined by Tim Miller, the president of CollegeCast. This is CollegeCast bringing you UHSP volleyball this season. And then we have August Camerato on the technology board and the camera and everything else here at UHSP. I call my position here the fish tank. I am behind a glass wall high above the Eutectics court, but it's a great view, and hopefully you can hear me loud and clear out there, all the volleyball fans of the Eutectics. Well, this has to be the most unique nickname matchup ever possible in college sports, as the very uniquely named Eutectics play the also very uniquely named Gorloks. And I know what a Eutectic is, and I know the source of the Gorlok nickname for Webster University. This will be a tough match for the Eutectics. They lost to Fontbonne in their last home match. We brought you that one on CollegeCast, and they are trying to bounce back after a 10-26 season last year, 3-6 in the AMC, and then getting knocked out by eventual national champion Missouri Baptist University in the AMC quarterfinals. They did lose to Webster last season. It was at Webster in straight sets back on September 1st. That was the date they were supposed to play here, but Webster had some COVID protocol issues, so they had to cancel a number of matches at a tournament at WashU, as well as the match with UHSP. So we're glad that the Gorloks are all healthy and they are back. And as you can tell when you look at the view, the Eutectics in the gray uniforms with white numbers, they have quite a large roster. I think Webster has them beat. They are in the navy blue uniforms with the gold numbers. The Liberos in black, the contrasting jersey for Catherine Trickey for the Eutectics, and for the Gorloks in gold, it's Cassie Gray getting the start at Libero. The teams do shake hands now, and they do change sides, so volleyball has come a long way here on 9/11 of 2022. Remembering all those who passed on this tragic day. Coach K will talk about 9/11 during one of the breaks, because I had a very unique experience. I was in Columbus, Ohio, working for May Company, building a department store, and the construction workers said a plane hit the World Trade Center, and I said, well, that means like a small plane, a Cessna, and they said, no, a big plane. And it got worse from there, unfortunately. So, sad day. We remember all those who passed away. I knew one person who was in the tower, one of our workers for the company that I had worked for, Westfield. He was in a meeting. Bruce Eagleson, his son, is now one of the spokesmen for the survivors and does quite well. is Brett Eagleson, but Bruce Eagleson was in the tower for a meeting and did pass away on 9/11. I still get chills thinking about it, so we won't talk about that. We'll talk volleyball as the teams are on the floor. Looks like everybody ran out for the Eutectics, and now they'll go to the bench. And for the Gorloks, their starters are on the floor. Our officials today, Johnny Chittacone is up on the stand. He is the longtime boys volleyball coach at St. Mary's High School, and I believe he retired last season, but still officiating. And then Joe Flanagan, one of the veteran officials in the area, and also does the assigning for officials. He will be the second referee. It's great to be here at the home of the Eutectics. CollegeCast will bring you all the Eutectics home matches this season, I do believe. We will be here Friday for a 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock matchup. Coach K will do those broadcasts, and then I will be out after that, and ultimately Buzz Swanson will come in and do the other home matches. There are home matches in the round robin this weekend on Saturday. So all of those hopefully will be able to be streamed. But I will be back here on Friday. We'll have two courts and a great divider between the courts. So we are ready to get started, and our first server I expect to be the setter, Ellie Biedenstein. And indeed, it is Biedenstein, I think, putting it in play. Tapped down by number 16. That's Abby Jacobs, the middle hitter on the overpass. So Ellie Biedenstein, 5'9" sophomore setter. She's from Fenton, Missouri. Played high school volleyball at Koryezu. Let's see, we're having a little trouble getting a volleyball back to Biedenstein. And she transferred in from Benedictine in Kansas, so she has played a year of NAIA ball, just a sophomore. Good pass by Caitlin Sid, and a kill on the right side. I think that was Amber Lou wearing number 9 with that put away. Amber Lou getting the start in this one. As the server will be Josie Barron, regular back row DS, plays 3 rotations as she has come on for Amber Lou. Hard float serve off the libero, Cassie Gray. Chance for Lauren Bork to go cross court. Now Brinson in the middle. The tip drops for Evelyn McQueen, 6-foot junior middle hitter, Lee Summit, Missouri, and Lee Summit West. Always good volleyball players coming out of that high school in the western part of the state. Barron to serve again. Big match for UHSP. They'd love to upset Webster. I'd say the Gorloks are the favorites. They did win last season, and they've added some strength. Cross-court shot, actually line shot from Lauren Bork, and she misses. Bork graduated in 3 years. She's one of those overachievers. So she's in grad school, but only in her 4th year. So she's not a super senior. Here comes Boric down the middle off a couple defenders. Tricky able to touch it, and so did Sid. Now that ball comes over free. Chance for the Eutectics to score. They'll go to Sid. She goes off the block. A clearing ball by Biedenstein. Then running the slide and missing out of bounds, the freshman middle hitter, Abby Jacobs. So a good start for the Eutectics. They take the early 4-1 lead. We see Mary Graff in her 22nd year. She's in light blue. So she made herself easy to spot on the sideline. She's got Carolina blue on. Ace serve off the hands of the passer. That was Tyler Ramstack. I think Ramstack did not get any help from her teammates on that ball. That looked out. So 5-1 lead now. I think Mary Graff will see one more before she takes her first time out. You only get 2, so no coach likes to take them under 10. Good pass this time by Ramstack. Boric into the block, and it crawls through. So Lauren Boric gets the kill. She'll be the server. Ramstack will rotate into the front row. Gorloks on the serve of Boric, and she can be a very effective server. Sid, out of system, ball is blocked. Eutectics will go back to Sid. What a set. Excellent set by Allie Lawrence. Cross court, high ball, well off the net. And Caitlin Sid converts, 5'7" junior right side. She's from Colorado Springs and Pine Creek. And the server is Evelyn McQueen. Cross court shot, Alyssa Jones. Sid the other way, the lefties alternating shots. Biedenstein goes over on 2, and that ball is a misconnect, trying to go off high hands. Allie Lawrence can't get it down. Eutectics will run a 5-1. They will have Jenna Brinson setting all the way around. On the other side, Webster will run a 6-2, and they use Biedenstein and Demon. At least that's the plan. Solid double block. Buckhorn rejected. Let's see who was up on that block. Kaylee Portell, and she got some help from Ramstack, I do believe. And the server is Abby Jacobs. The middle, little joust at the net, then Sid tips. Cross-court shot from Jones. Out of system ball. Smart play by Lawrence to just clear. Portell off of the block. Sid down the line. Boric, excellent defense with hands, going on 2. Webster setters are always aggressive. Ellie Biedenstein shoots it to the corner on 2. And Gorlocks have cut into that early 5-1 deficit. They now trail by 1. And the server is Abby Jacobs. She's one of 2 freshmen in the starting lineup for Webster. Sid rips it down the line. Boric got a hand on it, but the ball went backwards. Power from Caitlin Sid, just 5'7", but elevates and attacks. And she will now be the server. So she is a true opposite because she stays on. That's the Coach K definition. If you go 6 rotations, you're an opposite. If you go across the front and then come out for a setter, you're a right side. Nobody home. Buckhorn was fooled on that 3 set. Kaylee Portell, the 6-foot senior middle hitter from Festus, Missouri, St. Pius X, and a transfer from Mineral Area College with that kill. Now we'll see the double sub. It's Delaney Demon to set, wearing 18, and coming in as a right side, Katie Iskulson. Serve is long from Demon. She was a little too excited coming off the bench. The DS, Kira Sid, is now on. She is the younger sister of Caitlin Sid, and she is seeing action as a defensive specialist. Portell in another 3-set. Tricky, perfect position. Nobody takes it. The Sid sisters talk it over. I would say that belongs to Caitlin Sid because she had the better angle to set the out-of-system ball cross court. Coaching staff, Katie Payne in her 3rd year as head coach, and Manu Vargas on the bench. Not happy with that last play as it gets the Gorlocks within 1, and they face the serve of Taylor Thompson, but Thompson goes right into the net. So Taylor Thompson is a regular serving sub for the Gorlocks. The libero, Catherine Trickey, on the line. Jump float, kept off the floor by Thompson. Cross court, Boric. She goes long. Lauren Boric was the SLIAC Player of the Year the last 2 seasons. So Gorlocks expect big things from number 22. She played for my club, High Performance St. Louis. Played for a squad over on the Illinois side and did quite well. Tip shot, Portell got the net. Let's see. Well, the whistle blew, but now Johnny Chitticone's going to grant a replay. So that may have been an early whistle. as I believe what happened, Portell touched the net, but she touched it beyond the antenna. That is not a violation. If the ball touches it, it is, but not the player. So that's my guess on that last one. Overpass off the tricky serve. Running a slide is McQueen. She's blocked. No approach for Amber Lou. If you're trying to hit an out-of-system ball, and there's Manu Vargas telling Amber Lou exactly what I just said, you have to get a 5 to 10 foot transition so you can take an approach. Lou played it like a beach player. This ball will go back to Lou. She gets a better approach on that one, and she'll get a kill off the fingertips of Boric. So a good correction by Amber Lou. And the server is the setter, Jenna Brinson, 5'7" freshman setter, Spencer, Indiana, and Edgewood High School. Early lead for the Eutectics. Low toss, and Brinson went into the net. We hope to have live stats up here after every set. Brianna Hepfinger is the sports information director here. The server is Ellie Biedenstein, and she goes long. I want to mention our line judges. The taller gentleman is Alex Whitesides off the men's volleyball team. He's a Vianney grad from here in St. Louis. And on the other side is a young man from Houston, Texas. He's a freshman, Enzi Howe. He's from Houston, Texas, and he is on the cross-country team. So apparently not two volleyball players available for this one. So the cross-country team chipping in. Cross-court shot. Gorlocks get a swing, and that's what we have grown to expect, having seen Boric as a 4-year starter. Well, this is her 4th year of starting. Lauren Boric, 5'11", grad student in her 4th year, outside hitter from Belleville, Illinois, and Althoff High School. Boric with the serve, tight pass, but, well, that's going to be interesting. What's the call? I think that's interfering with the set. Indeed, it is. So the middle, Abby Jacobs went up and blocked the set, and the ball was not in the plane, so recognized as an illegal attack by Johnny Chittacone. Eutectics will take it. Jacobs is blocked. Boric, good hands to get it to Ramstack. Brinson goes the other way to Sid. That was a big feature of the Fontbonne match. Excellent defense by Brinson against Ramstack. Then Sid tipping with her opposite hand is rejected, and Gorlock score on the block. It went off a couple players and into the bench. The server, Abby Jacobs, 5'10" freshman, a middle hitter from one of my favorite towns, Hilton Head, South Carolina, and Hilton Head High. Coach K played the Sea Pines course, the Harbortown Lynx, years ago. A kill by Sid off of Boric. Sid's been effective as Eutectics maintain that 3-point lead. Great Pete Dye design with a collaboration with Jack Nicklaus, the famous lighthouse on the 18th, behind the 18th green. Big swing. Alyssa Jones, the 5'8" sophomore right side. She's from House Springs, Missouri, went to northwest of Cedar Hill, and a transfer from the D3 program at Milliken. So a couple of transfers in the starting lineup for the Gorlocks. So this is somewhat of a new lineup, 2 freshmen and 2 transfers. But the reliable Lauren Boric, still one of the keys. Barron out of system ball. Power tip down the line, missing Allie Lawrence. That was a good leave by Josie Barron. Out of system, a lead down to 1 again. Webster has trailed throughout. They have a chance to tie on the serve of Debman. Kill from the middle. I think that was Ella Backhorn attacking out of the middle, number 18. One of the other interesting things about the fish bowl or the fish tank, there's a column right in my way. I think I'm going to move a little bit. There we go. That's better. I'm not in my right spot. Out of system ball. Nobody takes it, so it's cleared by the Gorlocks. Well, that was an awkward-looking shot. Bockhorn hit it over, and it went off the block, and you can double the first contact. So Ramstack popped it up with two hands, but it went right to the floor. As soon as we get a timeout, we'll talk about each coaching staff. Ooh, that was a double on the set. Good call by Johnny Chittacone, Delaney Demon. I think we're going to get that first timeout taken here by the Webster Gorlocks. So since they're our guests, we'll talk about their coaching staff first. The lady in blue is Mary Graff, 22 years at the helm, 4 times the SLIAC Coach of the Year. She played volleyball and softball back in the days of two-sport athletes at Millikan, and she has a number of fine assistant coaches on her bench. The tall lady with the blonde hair in all black, that is Emily Knowles, who played middle hitter at Webster University. She owns a photo business down in Lafayette Square. So if you need photography and you're down in the city, that's Emily Knowles' profession. And then I do not see Jamison Stanton. He is an assistant coach. I don't think he's here. But the gentleman in all black is Luke Young, one of the great guys in volleyball, former assistant coach at SIU Edwardsville, and he was an assistant coach at WashU and also the interim coach for 1 year with the WashU Bears. So it's great to see him on the Webster University staff, one of the really good guys in the sport. His brother Zach Young is the coach at Lafayette High School, and his dad, Ron Young, the longtime coach for the Lindenwood Lions. So the Young family, quite known in the volleyball coaching world. Running a slide was Kaylee Portell off the timeout, and she can't connect with any fingertips, so it goes long. Looked like a called play off of the timeout because it's hard to run a slide in a 6-2. You have to bring your right side down the middle. This time a free ball from Ramstack. Now this is going to be tough for Bockhorn, but she gets the job done. Ella Bockhorn, the 5'11 freshman middle hitter from Waterloo, Illinois, and Waterloo High, with a creative little tip to the floor. If you can't attack it, tip it. The server is Kira Sid. Tight set, out of system, trying to force it was Demon, and no chance for Ramstack. Out of system ball, whether you're the setter or the libero, wants to be at least 5 feet off the net and 5 feet inside the antenna. That one was right on the net and just inside the antenna. Good serve by Sid. This is going to come back as a down ball. Chance for Amber Lou, but she rolls it deep. Cassie Gray was there. Ramstack dug by Tricky. Libero's playing solid defense. Then a ball off of the center, out of system, set by Boric, showing excellent hands. Took the ball away from the libero. Lou off the block. Sid from the back row. Boric digs it with hands. Now there's another out of system ball that cannot be attacked. So the ball is spinning and you have to keep it. That's one of the reasons you go for 5 feet off the net, because if it's spinning, as we're going to take the setter out, we're going to bring in Emma Lapine into set, number 23, cold off the bench for Delaney Demon. So this is a tough assignment for Lapine. She is in rotation 1. They ought to make sure they get her in the right spot. She is back right. Well, she starts off getting a tough pass, but at least she keeps it away from the net, and it's cleared by Eskildsen. Cross-court shot, Eskildsen. Sid, battle of the lefties again. Now, Lapine has to be the setter, or the digger, and another errant out-of-system ball. Lauren Bork's taken every second contact after the setter digs. That may be my plan. This time it's Ramstack trying to go over on the down ball as Skolson into the net, and this lead is now 9. So this one has gotten away. Second and final timeout taken by the head coach of the Webster U Gorlocks. That is Mary Graff. So this gives us an opportunity to mention our home team. Katie Payne in her 3rd year. She was a 9-year assistant under Randy Tyler, who now has a successful chiropractic business. And she was the captain of the volleyball team and the softball team at Dominican. So she also is a 2-sport athlete in her college days. She was also the head coach of the softball team here at UHSP from 2013 to 2016. She has a terrific assistant on her bench. So Katie Payne is somewhat hidden on the right side of the circle. And to her right, wearing glasses, Manu Vargas in her 1st year. She's a Missouri Baptist University graduate. You can see her in the gray shirt. Katie Payne is in the purple shirt. And Manu Vargas, NAIA National Setter of the Year last season, All-American first team the last 2 years, and the National Championship MVP the last 2 years because Missouri Baptist did the unthinkable. They won the 2020 championship, which due to COVID was played in 2021, and then they won in the fall of 21. So back-to-back championships within the same calendar year for Manu Vargas. She will be a great addition to the coaching staff here at UHSP as we're back underway on the serve by Sid. Tricky picks up the ball off the block from Portell. Then Portell gets up on the block with Ramstack. That was off of hands, so scoring is Amber Liu, the 5'9 sophomore outside hitter. She's from Aiea, Hawaii, and Hawaii Baptist. Hopefully we're coming in loud and clear in Hawaii today. It has to be a little before lunch. Cross-court shot by Ramstack. Here's Liu again. She takes a rip, but ball a little behind her head. She goes long. Still comfortable 10-point lead for the Eutectics in set 1. We'll get the return of Taylor Thompson as a DS. 5'7 sophomore from Irving, Texas, and Heston High School. Lefty puts it in play. Liu with a big rip. She tools the block. Amber Liu in the starting lineup, making a difference with that kill. She gets the Eutectics to set point. McQueen will return as Tricky serves regularly for Ella Bockhorn. Eutectics trying to make a statement here in set 1. Up 10. Borick attacking the hands. Brinson and McQueen were there, but no stopping Lauren Borick. She has a lot of power. So now the task of serving against 9 set points. Cassie Gray, 5'7 sophomore libero, Columbia, Missouri, and Rockbridge High. Puts that first serve in. That's the first thing she has to do. The Bockhorn tip is controlled. Lapine got it up. That ball might have been out, but played by Cassie Gray. Borick will get a swing, and she scores off of the block. Good job by our line judge. He's a cross-country guy, so volleyball's not his regular sport. Enzi Howe with the correct signal with the flag. The ball comes back, and Cassie Gray will stay on serve. She's in the gold libero jersey. Easy to spot. Another good serve by Gray. Power tip is controlled. Webster will send it back as a free ball by Taylor Thompson. Brinson has to cover the McQueen slide that's blocked. Then a ball off the tape. So the final kill will be from the libero, Catherine Tricky, as the first set goes to UHSP. They win it by a score of 25-16. We'll take a short break. This is College Cast bringing you Eutectics women's volleyball. Welcome back inside the RAS for Eutectics women's volleyball action. And going to turn it over to the president of CollegeCast, Tim Miller, for a brief moment of information.
Yeah, it's just trying to promote the UHSP, and we appreciate them being a member of our partnership this year, the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy. Founded in 1864 as St. Louis College of Pharmacy, was the first college of pharmacy west of the Mississippi River. UHSP is currently the third oldest and 10th largest college of pharmacy in the United States, featuring 28 teams in 17 sports. For more information on the university and what it has to offer, log on to uhsp.edu. Back to Coach.
So we appreciate the live stats came up here remarkably fast. That's because Marcus Parker, who is down on the bench assisting with the live stats, I think he's doing the calls, and he is a member of the men's team here on the campus of UHSP. Chris Frankenfield is the head coach. Marcus Parker played for Coach K on a men's team, actually a boys team, I guess technically, a high school team. In club, we got our bid to the national tournament, and then COVID shut the season down, but he's doing quite well here playing for UHSP, and we appreciate the speedy live stats coming up because we can get right to them. Webster U, 8 kills, 6 errors. They hit .056, so barely above even in terms of kills and errors, and no blocks by UHSP, so that was all 6 unforced errors. Lauren Borick led the way. She had 4 of the team's 8 kills. On the other side, Eutectics hit 175. They had 13 kills, 6 errors. They did get blocked twice, so only 4 unforced errors. Amber Liu led the way getting the start. She put down 5 kills, and Ella Backhorn and Caitlin Sid each with 3. 11 assists for Jenna Brinson for the Eutectics. The Gorlocks got 3 assists from Biedenstein and 2 from Lapine coming off the bench. Let's look at the serving. No aces, 3 misses for Webster, so Mary Graff will not be happy with those numbers. On the other side, 1 ace and 1 miss for the Eutectics. Coach Katie Payne will take those numbers all day. If you can just have as many aces as you have misses, those are great numbers. Digs, 21 digs for UHSP. They got 6 each from Caitlin Sid and Catherine Trickey, their libero. On the other side, 17 digs, 5 by Cassie Gray and 5 by Emma Lapine, who came off the bench late in the set. And then, as I mentioned, no blocks for UHSP. Webster with a solo block and a 2-person block. The solo block was by Kaylee Portell. So those are our stats. Thanks, Marcus Parker, for bringing those up so quickly, as he did a great job. Sports Information Director Brianna Hepfinger is, I believe, the person who does the live stats, which is a really hard job. Coach K has never done live stats, and I never will. It's like reffing. I've never reffed in terms of a college match, and I never will. I like this seat. Even being in the fish tank is better than reffing. That's the hot seat where Johnny Chittacone is, that stand right down there. And you can't get off. If it goes 5 sets, you have to stay up there. Crazy. Good pass by Cassie Gray right off the bat. Here's Borick down the middle, but, Eutectics can't let that ball drop. That was a tremendous dig. Now, I don't know if she'll get credit because the ball was never controlled, but that was a tremendous dig by Kira Sid. It went straight up, and then there was confusion in the front row, and the ball allowed to drop. So Borick starts things off with a huge swing. This time it was a pass by Caitlin Sid and a kill by Evelyn McQueen. The passing has been good for the Eutectics. That's why they took that first set by a score of 25-16. My rosters have switched sides. Sometimes after 2 years of not doing that, it takes a while. Cassie Gray, another quality pass. Ramstack with the tip. Tricky on the run-through. Cross court, Sid. She finds ways around the block. Caitlin Sid is crafty. Just 5'7", but she is a senior, and she's been doing that for a few years. Because I do the broadcast at Missouri Baptist University, I have seen the Eutectics over the last few seasons when they visit the SRC. Josie Barron with the serve. Another pass by Gray. Barron digs Ramstack. Brinson back to Sid off of the block and down. Block touched it, and Abby Jacobs couldn't control it. It'll be interesting to see. So Julia Fry has been a starter for Webster and has been a steadying influence. We'll see if she comes in at some point, either at right side or middle, to stabilize things for Webster. Barron clears that free ball. Tip shot. Dug by Barron. Cassie Gray with the dig with hands. And scoring is Tyler Ramstack, 5'11" freshman outside hitter, Davenport, Iowa, and Bettendorf High School. So the server will be Abby Jacobs. Her jump float popped up by Tricky. Barron calls it right away. Lou with the soft roll shot. Actually, that was Lawrence. Biedenstein out to Ramstack. Little joust with Sid. Lawrence sends it deep. Going on two was Biedenstein. Kill by Sid. The block just not penetrating the net for Webster. And that ball that hits the block and crawls down their arms scores for Sid. And the Eutectics, they started 5-1 in set one. They're starting 4-2 in this one. That ball goes long. Alyssa Jones misses. And the server's Evelyn McQueen. So a lot of newcomers for the Gorlocks, and right now the system is not quite meshing. Ramstack fixes that with that swing. Tyler Ramstack picks up the kill. So you're starting a couple of transfers and a couple of freshmen mixed in with multiple seniors. And here comes Julia Fry. Coach K called it. I knew she'd be in. Got to meet her family last year during the SLIAC tournament. They made the long trip. Scoring. Allie Lawrence, the 5'6" freshman outside hitter from Joplin, Missouri, and Joplin High with that kill. So it looks like Julia Fry has come in as a right side. She is on with Emma Lapine. So it looks like Lapine has replaced Demon. So Coach Mary Graff, the veteran, using her roster. She's got a big roster, scoring Boric on a pipe out of the back row. Assist to Lapine. So Julia Fry will definitely add something to the block. I think she's on for Katie Eskoltson. She'll also add some energy. Ace serve. Big celebration for Taylor Thompson. Assistant coach Luke Young up talking to his defense about their positioning. Thompson, the lefty, puts some unusual spin on the ball. Sid from deep off the court. Now Brinson's going to have to save that. That's in the plane. So that was an opportunity for the Eutectics, and they couldn't control it. Ball was clearly in the plane. Brinson was live in the front row, so there wasn't even the potential of an illegal attack. Thompson down the line that time. When the toss is off, you cannot let it drop. So the players have to find a way. Here comes Kira Sid, 5'3" sophomore DS, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Pine Creek High School. Another Coach K favorite town. Always enjoy visiting Colorado Springs, the home of USA Volleyball. Their offices are in Colorado Springs. Amber Lou sends it deep. Boric over the top. Lauren Boric. Well, our line judge called it out, but he has been overruled. Enzi Howe did his best. He's a cross-country runner, so the line, you can go on either side. We're going to get a volleyball. Cassie Gray will be the server. We're all even. The scoreboard lights up in yellow numbers when we're even. The lead team always has a green number, and the team that's behind has a red number. And now the green number will go up for the Gorlocks as they get the solid double block. Boric up with Jacobs against the right side attack from Bachhorn. Cassie Gray, tough serve. Going to be a free ball. Well, Sid will put some pace on it, but she's dug. Boric over the top again. What a dig by Sid. You tactics have to get that back. Can't give up those kind of digs. Now Fry gets a swing. Controlled by Lou. Sid from 20 feet off the net. Out of system ball to Fry. She goes long. So pressed into service as a right side. I think her more natural position is middle. Fry sends it out. Catherine Tricky will serve. Handled by Thompson. Fry will get another chance. She takes a little slide approach and a one-on-one block. Amber Lou's going to get the solo stuff block against Julia Fry. The setter is in back left. That's Emma Lapine. Tactics with a slim 1-point lead. Ball off tape. Good reaction, Jacobs. Julia Fry off the block. Brinson gets the dig. Now, this is a high ball 20 feet off the net from Tricky to Sid. And Caitlin Sid's pretty good, but she couldn't put that ball in play. Not sure that was the best choice. The server, Ellie Biedenstein. Her mom is the athletic director at Koryezu, I do believe. Shot, now that looked like 4 contacts, and indeed it was. Officials saw it right away. The attack went into the net. It might have hit the block through the net, but that's not possible to count as a touch. So now the Gorlocks have the slim 1-point lead. Excellent pass by Kira Sid, and then she's able to cover the blocked ball. A little confusion, but Caitlin Sid gets it over. Running a long way to run the slide was Jacobs. Eutectics bring it back. Boric, smart play by Boric. So when the defense has scrambled to keep the ball alive on a couple consecutive plays, the tip is highly effective. Coach Katie Payne might want a timeout here, but she's going to wait and see one more serve. When Boric's in the front row, Webster is extremely strong. Brinson to Sid, and she goes out. Caitlin Sid getting set a little too much. Manu Vargas talked to her head coach and said, let's take a timeout, and Coach Katie Payne agreed, and indeed the timeout has come. Always like to mention our guests. So in this case, Webster is the guest. They're located in Webster Groves, Missouri on 47 acres. They have 2,300 students. They're non-denominational. They were founded back in 1915 by the Loretto College, as Loretto College by the Sisters of Loretto. Changed their name to Webster College in 1924. In 1962, they went co-ed. In 1968, they offered their first campuses remotely, starting in Kansas City. They now have 90 locations in the U.S., including some military bases. And they also have their first ever international campus in 1978, became a university in 1983. And then the Gorlock. I said I'd tell that story. The Gorlock was born by a student vote. Never let the students vote. And it is the combination of Gore and Lockwood, which is the intersection close to the Webster campus. And they are famous for the Loretta Hilton Repertory Theater, built in 1966. Coach K had season tickets to the Rep for many, many years. My mother, Florence Kissel, worked for Peter Sargent at Webster College in the theater department for at least 25 years. And I worked in the snack bar at Webster College. So-called red carpet is long gone now. It was a summer job. Down the line by Lou, Boric cross court. Tricky, able to keep it off the floor, but she doesn't get any help, and the ball doesn't go back over, and the Gorlocks now up 4. So Coach K has a long history at Webster U. They used to have a swimming pool on the campus, and because I was an employee, we could use it, and we were there every day. I think it's gone now. Out-of-system ball, actually not an out-of-system ball, an in-system ball to Boric. Biedenstein tries the other side to Alyssa Jones, and she goes into the net. Still, the lead is 3, and the setter is Brinson. But that's good news for the Eutectics because that means Caitlin Sid's back in the front row. Good serve by Brinson. Biedenstein to Jones. Dug by Tricky. Soft shot by Lou. Biedenstein keeps it alive. Boric, well, I'm not sure that was touched, but they're going to play on. Sid got up, so maybe she got it. Evelyn McQueen scores on a 2 set in the middle. Not a quick set, not a 3, but more of a 2. But that's a good choice. In talking to Coach Katie Payne before the match, we talked about the fact that she needs to get Bockhorn and McQueen more involved in the offense. They need more sets. Takes good passing to do that. Boric with the finish. First ball side out. Gorlocks, they get the lead back to 3. Volleyball being retrieved. Boric will now be in the back row for 3 rotations, but she may still get set. She gets featured anywhere on the court, and that's a good choice. Unfortunately for Boric, she serves long, so can't go on a serving run. The return of Allie Lawrence in the front row and Josie Barron in the back row. The departure of Kira Sid and Amber Lou. Barron can go on some serving runs. Cassie Gray, good pass. Ramstack, Tricky, able to keep it off the floor barely. The tip goes down for Allie Lawrence. So big point on her first serve by Josie Barron. One thing about UHSP, they play their libero, Catherine Tricky, at 5'5" in middle back. Most teams play liberos in left back. Ace serve off the tape, the so-called zone 7 serve. There's 6 zones on the court, but if you serve off the tape, that's better than all of them. That's zone 7. Now the serve behind the ace for Barron. Where does she go? She's been going down the middle. This time she goes over at Ramstack. That looked like, well, it won't matter. I don't know if it was a block or not, but it won't matter because it didn't go over for Jacobs. And the Eutectics have lit up the green lights. They are up by 1. Our scoreboard at home doesn't have lights, does it? Red and green? No. It's not necessary. No timeout yet by head coach Mary Graff. She can't be happy with this serving sequence from Barron. Tricky with the dig against Jones. McQueen tips, then tipping the other way was Biedenstein. She's an aggressive setter. She'll fit right in with Mary Graff. She likes to try to score from the setter position. Kill by Alyssa Jones. Cross court off of the block and the defenders. And we're all even. 60% of the way through set number 2. Webster lost the first set by 9, but they've had the lead most of the way in this one, but give that lead up on the missed serve. So that was a serve from Abby Jacobs, and she went long. Coach Mary Graff shouting some instructions as I believe McQueen serve. Ramstack into the double block. Bockhorn and Sid. So there's quite a size difference. Bockhorn goes 5'11", Sid only 5'7", but they both got up evenly, and now Mary Graff will take, I believe, her first timeout. Indeed, it is one timeout apiece in this one. As I want to give a shout-out to some people I met. The head coach of the Webster U golf team, Brad Smith, and some of his players, Cody Surma, Justin McCoy, and Mitch Vitter, although Mitch is a grad, so they were from the championship of the SLIAC Conference, the Webster golf team. Coach K was walking with my son Jeff at Old Warson as he was playing a practice round for an event, the Metro Amateur event, a Metro Amateur tournament, and those three were the other three players in our foursome, and Brad Smith walked 9 holes with us. And it was very interesting. They are the strongest team in the SLIAC Conference when it comes to men's golf. So congratulations to Brad Smith and his players. It turned out Justin McCoy made the final cut and played all the way through the 3 days of that tournament. Cody Surma and my son Jeff, they didn't make the cut from Friday. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate, and it was a shortened tournament and a bigger cut after the first day. McQueen with the big serve behind the timeout. They're targeting Ramstack. She gets it up, but it'll go to Borick out of the back row. Excellent dig by Brinson against Borick. Lawrence with the shot to the corner, and there's that aggressive 1-2 play from Biedenstein. Now Portell blocks Bockhorn. That's 2 contacts by Bockhorn. She got blocked, played it, and then played it again. Gorlocks get what they needed, the big side out. They'll bring in Lapine and Fry. Julia Fry is a 6-foot senior middle and right side. She is from Teutopolis, Illinois, and Teutopolis High School. Met her mom, Amy, her dad, Chris, and her grandpa, Ron Phillips, last year at the SLIAC tournament. Ramstack down the line. Brinson protected herself. A little self-defense defense for the player who wears glasses. Coach K played in glasses, so I know how challenging that is. Lapine with a deep serve that goes long. Every time Webster has a chance to make a run, they serve a little deep in this. They're trying to serve aggressive, but just a little too strong. Now Sid's in the back row and Brinson's in the front row for 3 rotations. Eutectics with the slim 1-point lead. Short serve by Brinson. She takes the setter out, though. Lapine had to play it. No problem. Gorlocks get the kill by Tyler Ramstack. Good recognition by Lapine. No one else would have gotten that serve. She was transitioning to set, and she just played it up, and Ramstack converted. She'll be the server. All knotted up at 18. Good pass, Catherine Tricky. Lawrence off of hands. Lapine gets the dig. Borick is blocked, so good lineup that time by Bockhorn and Brinson. After the free ball, coming inside and tipping to the floor. Amber Lawrence with a smart play from the freshman. So Brinson and Lawrence, both freshmen, along with Bockhorn, 3 freshmen in the starting lineup for UHSP. And on the other side, Ramstack and Jacobs, both freshmen. So some youngsters seeing action in the starting lineup, just beginning their college volleyball career. Good save by Lapine off the tape. Sid from the 10-foot line finds the corner. Creative shot. Caitlin Sid, she hit it till the last minute. It looked like she was going to go line. Much better set getting Sid up to the 10-foot line, and then she found the corner. She's a true opposite. Now her sister, serves out. No signal from Alex Whiteside. I think he should have either called out or in. There really are no other choices. There's no tie goes to the runner. Ball is either out or in. Didn't move his flag 1 inch. So big serve from Cassie Gray. Oh, going on 2 was Brinson, and she's clean. She stayed out of the net, but it won't matter. Boric cleans it up with a kill. That was a tough play for Jenna Brinson. All even at 20 now, and number 20 on the line, Cassie Gray. Off tape. That's down. Tricky did all she could, but did not get the pancake. Eutectics lead. If I'm head coach Katie Payne, I take a timeout here, but she is not. Cassie Gray off of Tricky. Now this will be tough for Bachhorn, and she's rejected. So instead of going cross court, Eutectics tried to set up Bachhorn on the right. Now that timeout is coming, down 2 instead of 1. And Bachhorn was rejected. Gorlocks were all over that play. She tried to clear it, but she cleared it right into the block. Line judges come over and talk to the first referee. So recapping, first set was UHSP in control 25-16, but this one, Gorlocks lead at 22-20. The Eutectics would like nothing better than to pull a comeback in this second set and take the 2-0 lead. Always tough to come back from a 2-0 deficit. Some people call it the reverse sweep. I've never been fond of that term since the word sweep implies you never lost. But that is often the term. Eutectics 10-26 last year, so off to the 1-4 start. They would definitely like win number 2 today. Gorlocks 13-14 and 6-6 in the SLIAC. So they look to improve on that one match under 500 record. Big serve coming from Cassie Gray. It's a good one, but handled by Sid. Then a shot to the corner. Oh, it's out. Alex Whiteside did his job that time. He made the call. Cassie Gray went all the way to the line, then chose to let it go. And she chose wisely. Brinson in the middle front. She can attack on 2 from there. Sid steps in front of her sister and takes that pass. And it's a kill for Amber Lou. So credit Amber Lou coming up big on that swing. Catherine Tricky, the 5'5 junior libero. She's from Belleville, Illinois, and Belleville East High School. And she puts it deep, but in. Ramstack plays. The roll shot from Jacobs. Brinson to Sid. Webster struggled with Sid. Now Fry cross court. Sid with her defense. She'll get it back. They're asking Sid to do everything, and she gets the kill from 12 feet off the net. So both liberos playing middle back. Coach K teams, I don't think we've ever done that. Play them in the angle, dig those outside hitters, but each to their own. Boric down the middle, sure thing. The high ball in the middle to Lauren Boric for the kill, and Gorlocks have 2 set points coming up. And they're going to bring back Alyssa Jones, and they'll bring back their setter, Ellie Biedenstein. So Biedenstein on the service line. Chance to take set 2. The Sid sisters talking over who's got which seam. It's Kira Sid popping it up high. Oh, that ball's way long. Amber Lou, I'm not sure what her concept was there. I think she was indecisive, and that usually leads to bad things as she sends it all the way out, and Webster takes set number 2 by a score of 25-22. We'll be back in about a minute with more volleyball action on College Cast, Eutectics women's volleyball on a Sunday afternoon.
Welcome back. And we want to remind you that you can follow Eutectic Athletics on social media. Stay up to date with game day information, results, and other athletic information. Follow them on Twitter or Facebook at UHSP Eutectics or on Instagram at UHSP Athletics. Back to Coach K.
Thank you, Tim Miller. So Eutectics Athletics on College Cast this season. Buzz Swanson will be the broadcaster during most of the season, but glad to sub in for him. Hopefully Buzz is enjoying his vacation. He's going out to Acadia National Park, one of the great spots off the coast of Maine. Absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. Coach K has been to 61 of the 63 national parks. Only have Isle Royal going next summer, got COVIDed out back in 2020, and then American Samoa, a 5-hour flight from Hawaii. Mrs. Coach K not thrilled with that one, but that's fine. She's going to go with me as we're going to get to all 63, and then we're sure they'll add a few more, and we'll go to those. Love the national park system. There are no bad parks. Some are better than others. For Webster University, they're now hitting 114. They got 21 kills now and only 12 errors, and 2 of those are UHSP blocks. They've gotten 12 kills from Lauren Bork, so she has more than half their kills. She's hitting 400 on 25 swings. She has a third of their swings and more than half of their kills. 4 by Tyler Ramstack in second place for Webster. 10 assists for Biedenstein and 7 for Lapine pressed into service. 2 aces and 7 missed serves, an ace by Taylor Thompson and an ace by Cassie Gray. And then 34 digs, Cassie Gray leading the way with 14 digs for the Gorlocks. On the other side, UHSP, 24 kills. They have 15 errors. 6 of those are blocks, so they have 9 unforced errors. They're hitting 113, so only 1 point difference. 114 for Webster, 113 for UHSP. 8 kills for Caitlin Sid. She has a third of their kills. Amber Lou with 6. And then 3 players, McQueen, Bockhorn, and Lawrence, each with 3. 21 assists for the setter, Jenna Brinson. 2 aces and 2 misses. Both aces by one of the top servers for the Eutectics, Josie Barron. 42 digs. 11 by Catherine Trickey, the libero, and 10 by Caitlin Sid. She's doing it all, so she's on her way to a double-double if she can pick up 2 more kills. And 1 solo block and 2 block assists, so no blocks in that last set for UHSP as we're getting ready for our first serve with Ellie Biedenstein. Evelyn McQueen right away off the block for the kill. Appreciate Marcus Parker bringing up those stats so quickly. Let's see, I changed my rosters before the set began. This is good. This means I'm adjusting to everything going back to normal. Josie Barron now the server, 5'2" junior DS, Springfield, Missouri, and Kickapoo, and she serves a tough serve. She'll get a free ball. She's done her job. Then she handles that free ball. Little tip by Lawrence and a save by Borick. trying to get a little too cute. Alyssa Jones was going to go with a roll shot. I think she's getting some coaching from the head coach, Mary Graff, saying just put that ball in play. Either take a big full swing while you jump or give the ball away. Barron deep and out. This time the call by our cross-country runner, Enzi Howe, is correct. No overruling. Lauren Borick now to serve. She goes deep, and this is going to be tough for Brinson. She can't get there. The pass went off the platform of Allie Lawrence and to her left, and Brinson was in the middle of the court, but she could not reach that one. So the ace from Borick. She targets Lawrence again. Out of system ball. Lawrence will take a soft shot and put it in. Just enough pace on that ball to carry over the net. It looked like she did not have room for that little drop shot, but she did. Smart play by the freshman. Coaches love it when those freshmen step up and make plays. The server is Evelyn McQueen, and she serves an ace, although I'm not sure that will go as an ace because the pass was up and then two players sent the ball backwards. Eutectics with a 2-point lead. August Camarado's given the ace symbol up here in the skybox. That's okay, August. Coach K's not official on stats. Good cover by Jacobs. Now this is going to be tough. Somebody got the net, the attacker. It was Alyssa Jones. The ball was covered nicely by Jacobs, but then the save set on the out-of-system play was way too tight. Tip shot from Jacobs. Now I think the Eutectic block is in the net. It was on Caitlin Sid. So back and forth here in the first set. Early 2-point lead. And the server is Abby Jacobs. Hopefully we're coming in loud and clear on Hilton Head Island. Jacobs will become a setter here. She puts up a hittable ball, but Borick chooses to go down ball. Sid with a chance. Off of Jacobs. She gets a dig here. Ramstack goes long. Jacobs got a hand on the shot from Sid and popped it up nicely. Caitlin Sid now the server. Can she put a little left-handed magic on the serve? She cannot. Ramstack handled it. Buckhorn keeps it alive off of her own block. Beanstein with the dig. Excellent set cross court from Borick, but going wide was Alyssa Jones. Something about those left-handed float serves. They spin slightly differently, float slightly differently. Borick from the back row. Great block. Ella Bockhorn. The graphic is a wall. Need to get the monster block like FIVB has. Monster block, monster block, monster block. Ella Bockhorn with a sensational play against Borick. Now let's see if this ball goes back to Borick. Well, it won't because it's going across the court to a free ball from Jones, and that's going to drop. Alyssa Jones will get a kill on a saved ball cross court. Emma Lapine returns, 5'7" senior setter. She's from St. Charles, Missouri, Lutheran St. Charles and St. Louis Community College. One of my favorite towns, St. Charles, Missouri, because my grandsons Max and Kevin live in St. Charles. I doubt if they're tuned in. Big swing. Lawrence showing no fear against the big double block. Portell was there, Fry was there, and Lawrence ripped it off their hands. Went out to the Ascension Charity Classic yesterday with Max and Kevin, and I learned a valuable lesson. 4-year-old and the 2-year-old do not understand golf etiquette about being quiet. Surprise. Grandpa didn't know that. I blame my son. Great 3-set, and there's Julia Fry getting a kill. That might be her first in this match. But that 3-set from Lapine went over to Fry in the middle, and as I said, she can play middle. And yes, that indeed, that is her first kill. So good contribution by Julia Fry off the bench. Let's see, we're trying to figure out whose serve it is. You have the ability to ask the second referee to check with the score, and indeed, it is Tyler Ramstack's serve. So the Iowa native will go back on the service line. And she puts it in. Long run for Brinson. She can't get to that ball. Sid is an opposite who passes all 6 rotations. But even Caitlin Sid couldn't handle that serve. Now the serve behind the ace. Ramstack, this one Sid makes a great pass. Flying in from the right was Backhorn, and the block was in the net. We're going to get 22. Boric shakes her head. She doesn't believe she did it. And sometimes the officials get the number wrong. There's 2 players up on the block. They give 22, and it's really 28. But either way, the call will stand. Lead is back to 4. Short serve. Cassie Gray gets there. Tip to the corner from Boric. Lou with the roll shot. Boric, big rip. Can't give her 2 chances. They got away with a low set that Boric had to tip. But then when Lou chose to tip, Boric turned that into a kill. One of the challenges of playing Webster is controlling number 22. That will be true throughout the SLIAC season. McQueen on a slide, but she had to stop, and then it was blocked. Now this will be tough. McQueen able to keep it alive and stay out of the net. Fry with a little slide approach. Sid or Tricky kept that off the floor. Now Lou blocked by Fry. Brinson keeps it alive. Lapine with the dig. Julia Fry, soft roll shot. Brinson with the dig. That was an interesting play. Backhorn looked like she was trying to set it, but she set it over. Then a free ball. Cassie Gray keeps that alive. Boric gets a swing. Now, the Eutechnics need a swing here. They get it, but they don't get a touch. Lou can't convert. So the Gorlocks earn that point. Again, after stopping Boric when she gets an attack, as we're having a shoe-tying timeout for Caitlin Sid. Tactics still lead by 2, but Cassie Gray's on the service line. She goes deep, and it's out right on the AMC, the conference of the Eutechnics. Jana Brinson on the service line. She has the benefit of being coached by Manu Vargas, so she will get excellent coaching here at UHSP. Fry, cross court, Brinson digs it. The roll shot, this time Amber Lou scores. Well, she made sure on that ball it was out of system, and Lou placed it perfectly. Mary Graff not happy with her back row defense on that roll shot. Brinson to serve again. Let's see who she targets. Ramstack has had to handle a lot of balls, and she cannot control that one. Fry gave it a good effort over by the scorer's table, but it's an ace serve for Jenna Brinson. She only got the nice serve graphic. It was a nice serve. I agree. Now another nice serve by Brinson. Coming inside Boric. The combination play, it's a fake to Jacobs running more of a 2, and here comes Boric right behind her on about a 4 set, almost a tandem play. And Boric with the big finish. She will definitely need to ice the shoulder after every match this season because she's going to get set a lot. So we've made the double switch again. Now it looks like it's Eskultson is a back in. number 14 at right side. And Eskultson scores. Katie Eskultson, 5'11 junior right side from Klamath Falls, Oregon. She went to Triad High, and she is a lefty. So maybe it's Fry and Eskultson in this one. Good serve by Biedenstein. Tipped left-handed McQueen. Borick reads it. Tricky keeps that ball from Jacobs off the floor, but a soft roll shot from Sid. Then going on two, Biedenstein. We'll have to look at her total attacks. She's crafty. Tip shot, that's down. Borick scores. Borick's tough to stop on the tip because she hits it so hard. Just naturally. So those tips, you're back on your heels. Gorlock's within two. Eutectics need a side out here, but they will have to go to Sid from well off the net. Ramstack to Borick from well behind the 10-foot line. Another tip from Lou. Oh, double contact called on the set this time, Brinson. Johnny Chittacone is pretty fair on that one. I don't think we'd had maybe one double contact called before that one. Live stats don't show any as a timeout is taken by head coach Katie Payne, I do believe. So Katie Payne on the timeout. That'll give us a chance to mention a couple more things about the UHSP Eutectics. Their mascot is Mortimer Morty McPestle. And that's Morty down there on the floor with his mortar and pestle, I'm sure. So Morty is the mascot. They moved here in 1926 to this site at Parkview and Euclid in the central west end of the city of St. Louis. And in 1963, they had their first men's basketball team called the Dispensers. And the Dispensers went 7-7. But in 1980, 17 years later, they dropped all college sports. But thankfully, in 1993, they restarted their sports programs with men's basketball and women's volleyball. And in 2014, they demolished their pillbox gym and built this beautiful new facility, the Recreation and Sports Center, the RAS. And it is a fabulous facility. It's got to have one of the highest ceilings I've ever seen in a college gym. I don't think we've seen a ball touch a rafter or a backboard or the curtain. We'll be playing two courts at the weekend tournament coming up next Friday and Saturday. So that'll be fun. Oh, that ball went over the net. Smart play by Brinson. I have taught my setters to do that on occasion. If you know it's going over, jump and pretend you're setting it. And sometimes the defenders are fooled, and that's exactly what happened. Plus, grazing the tape didn't hurt. So the errant pass goes all the way over. So that'll be the old pass kill out of the back row. I'm not sure the live stats folks will recognize that. Brinson never touched it, so she was back row. Had she touched it, it probably would have been a back row attack. Josie Barron on serve. Big side out for UHSP, and even better now with the ace serve by Josie Barron. The ace graphic up here at the RAS. Great, huge graphic scoreboard here. Of course, they have a place for stats, but that's not going as Barron with the ace miss. Coach K has to come up with a name for that. The conundrum. You serve an ace and then you serve a miss. It's a win because you got the 1 point, but it's such an easy give back. Sid with a big serve. Borick keeps it alive. Cleared by Biedenstein. What a dig by Borick. No, it will not be a dig. It's just a first contact that goes out of play. It's a kill for Evelyn McQueen. Need teammates to get a dig. Can't just touch it and watch the ball go into the stands. Ramstack quality pass. Scoring in the middle. So the two freshmen stepping up on that play. Abby Jacobs with that kill after a quality pass from Tyler Ramstack. And a great set from Ellie Biedenstein. Jacobs now the server. Coach Luke Young signaling the zone he wants to attack. He says serve to zone 5. That's exactly what Jacobs does, and she gets the ace off of the passer, Allie Lawrence. So I expect Coach will signal 5 again. He does. He's making it easy for Coach K up in the fish tank. There's another serve to zone 5, another out-of-system ball, so Tricky will clear. As a libero, she's not going to jump and attack. Ramstack over the top of everybody, no touch. Tactics lead back to 2. Good serving by Jacobs, though, at the direction of her head coach. She hit zone 5 both times. Not sure who calls serves for the Tactics. Boric from the back row. Barron digs it. And there's that aggressive swing against the double block, again by Allie Lawrence. The freshman rips it off the hands. Eskolson getting some coaching from head coach Mary Graff. Short serve. Good play by Ramstack to just keep that off the floor. Tip shot, reading the defense. Ella Buckhorn, smart play to her right, and a timeout taken by the Webster U Gorlocks. And I think that is their second and final timeout. Wanted to mention my trivia for the day. Guess where Mary Graff coached before she coached at Webster? She's been at Webster for 22 years, but she was a coach here at what was then known as St. Louis College of Pharmacy. And in fact, her dad, her brother, her sister, and her uncle are all St. Louis College of Pharmacy alums, so UHSP alums now with the new terminology. And they all became pharmacists. Back in the day, that was the one major here. Now they've added multiple new majors and grad programs. I want to thank August Camerato. He is a second-year grad student in the pharmacy school as part of the 7-year program. So he has this year and one more to go. And he is up here with all the technology, along with Tim Miller, who's making the live stream go and keeping my microphone working. And I'm in the fish tank. It's not the pillbox anymore. It's the fish tank. Looking through glass. It's okay. As long as you can hear me, I'm fine. Portell with a shot that's dug by Sid. As Golson picks up the over in 2. Ramstack goes out a left, and the Tactics now lead by 5 with 5 to go. So good position. Can they take advantage of this lead and finish set 3 and take a 2-1 lead? Boric, perfect pass. Portell. Tricky runs it down off the Barron dig, but it cannot be saved over by Allie Lawrence. So Portell will get the kill. Good shot by Kaylee Portell. Double switch. Lapine is back in. Julia Fry back in. Brinson live in the front row for 3 rotations, but she doesn't go on 2 that much. Lapine with another dig. Then Brinson with the dig. That goes up in the plane. Brinson digs that ball. Solid defense from the setter. Lapine's going to go on 2, and that is in on the sideline. Johnny Chittacone called it all by himself. I'm not sure our line judge called it. But that was perfectly placed on 2. Webster setters love to go on 2. Biedenstein had 4 attacks, and Demon had 2. And those numbers will only go up. Perfect pass by Sid. Shot from Lawrence does not go down. Portell does. And now Katie Payne has to be thinking about a timeout. She and Madu Vargas talk it over. Katie Payne in purple, Manu Vargas in gray. Dig by Ramstack. She gets it back. She attacks line. Sid will get a chance. Cassie Gray dives, keeps it alive. Lawrence stops the tip. She'll attack down the line. So Lawrence kept the ball alive, got it back, and put it away. She comes off for Kira Sid. Eutectics need 4 to go up 2-1. Portell, the same tip that Backhorn used earlier. Portell tipping to her right. When you coach middles, you teach them that defensively players forget about that little tip to the right. Perfectly executed by Kaylee Portell. Ramstack to serve. Boric in the front row for 3 rotations. That's a problem for the Eutectics. Good finish. Amber Lou with some pace on that ball. She got the start at outside hitter opposite Allie Lawrence today and has made the most of it. Tricky now serving. Handled by Ramstack. Portell on the slide. Sid keeps it off of the floor. Now she'll attack. Probably not ideal. Kaylin Sid hit the deck, and Amber Lou set the ball cross court. Ideally, you do want to go cross court, but Sid had just gotten up off the floor. Almost would have been better if Lou had gone over on 2. The lead down to 2. Katie Payne has a timeout left. Gray with the serve. Kira Sid, perfect pass. McQueen off of hands? No, not off of hands, just out of bounds. Now the timeout should come. Brinson's live in the front row. They get the volleyball back in the server's hands. Some coaches like to wait, but no timeout coming. Pressure on Cassie Gray. She goes deep, she goes long. No timeout needed. As a head coach, I have sat on the bench with a timeout in hand and thought, do I want to see one more serve? Now the second and final timeout taken by the Webster U Gorloks. Mary Graff wants to talk it over. Webster has a great record in the SLIAC Conference. They won 9 regular season and 12 SLIAC tournament championships, but the last one was back in 2014 as Greenville has dominated that conference in recent years. So the Gorloks looking to get back on top in the SLIAC Conference. For the Eutectics, they play in a very tough conference, the AMC. They have to face the defending national champs, 2-time defending national champs, Missouri Baptist Spartans, as well as Columbia College and William Woods. But their goal, and they did this a few years ago, is to stay in the top 4 in the conference. You can host a conference playoff match, that first round matchup. Then the semis and the finals are at the number 1 seed remaining. So for Webster, their goal is to host a SLIAC match, and for UHSP, their goal is to host an AMC match. And then see what happens. Lapine to Boric. No surprise there, but Sid keeps it off the deck. Lou, soft shot into the net. Ouch. Amber Lou with a misfire on the roll shot. Can't have that. Now, the 6-2 continues, so nobody running out of subs yet, as far as we know, because here comes Ellie Biedenstein, and here comes Katie Eskolson. So Coach Mary Graff has used 3 different right sides and 3 different setters. Good pass by Kira Sid, and it leads to the Evelyn McQueen kill and a couple of set points for UHSP. It starts with that perfect pass by the sophomore DS. Josie Barron on the line. Well, if I'm head coach Katie Payne, there's probably no better player to put on the service line with 2 set points coming up than Josie Barron. She's been one of their top servers. And she doesn't get the announcer's jinx. He puts it in. Skolson sends it over. Chance for Sid to win it. Double contact called on the back set by Johnny Chittacone. That ball was down, although the whistle did blow, so maybe the player stopped. Brinson on the back set to Sid. So 1 set point avoided, and now Borek on serve. That's good news in the sense that she's not in the back row. Good pass by Lawrence. Sid for the win off of Biedenstein. Then a deep ball handled by Tricky, but a bad set. Dying into the net, and we're going to play extra points. Coach Katie Payne's going to use her second and final timeout here. Might have wanted that timeout 1 point sooner. But either way, we're going to play a little mini game of 2 as the Eutectics will take their second and final timeout. So no timeouts left. And I'm not sure what the sub situation is for the Webster Gorlocks. I want to thank Brianna Hepfinger, the sports information director. She is seated at the table in the white baseball cap. Didn't get the names of all of the other folks down there working hard, but we know Brianna. And next to her is Marcus Parker, who has been getting those live stats up here fast. It's timeout trivia on the big board here at the RAS. We've got to come up with a better name for the gym. I like the pillbox. I personally would have kept that forever. Although apparently the pillbox was rather dated. So perhaps best if that is gone forever. The sign is up in a room up here in the media area. Good pass by Lawrence. Oh, tight set. What a joust by Sid. She wins the joust. How did that happen? Sid is a ferocious player at 5'7". That was an awkward set from Brinson, and Sid turned it into a kill. Now the serve at set point, but down the middle. Abby Jacobs with the kill. All even at 25. The yellow numbers are back on the board, and Jacobs is the server. The Tactics would like to get Sid back in the front row. Could have been out of rotation, but no call. There seemed to be a little movement right at the service point. That ball is off of Jacobs, and I don't think that was touched, so that's Jacobs accidentally playing an out ball. Allie Lawrence took a big rip. Sometimes as a defender, if you're not sure the front row touched it, you must play it. So now Sid is on serve. Down the line, Ramstack handles it nicely. Brinson with the dig against Eskulson. Lawrence cross-court. Borick is there. Chance for Ramstack. She tips. Sid was late to the play, but she dives with her left hand. She is a lefty, and played it all the way over and picks up the dig kill and the great dive graphic, which is underwater. I kind of like that. So the final score of that set is UHSP 27, Webster 25. We'll have a set number 4. Can the Eutectics take the win, or are we going 5? We'll find out in about a minute. Come back and join us. So she's going to, no, I was going to say, so she's going to come up and you're just going to give her a headset.
Yeah, she'll take my headset.
And you can keep this camera up.
Welcome back. The UTech athletic programs compete in the American Midwest Conference. For conference-wide information, including scores, rankings, and weekly awards, log on to amcsportsonline.com. And for more on UHSP athletics, you can always check utechsports.com. Here's Coach K.
Sets numbers 1, 2, and 3 are in the books. It was UHSP in the first one, 25-16. The last two have been a little closer. Webster takes set number 2, 25-22. They score 25 points in set number 3, but they lose it 27-25. So an outstanding play by Sid, keeping a ball off the floor. Caitlin Sid diving with her left hand, keeps it off the floor, and it drops in on the other side for the old dig kill. At least that's what should go into the stat book. She should get a dig and a kill. Numbers through 3 sets. Webster now hitting 118, 33 kills, 19 errors. And of those 19 errors, 3 of those are blocks by UHSP, so 16 unforced errors. Lauren Borick with 15 of the 33 kills. She's hitting 343. She's also taken 35 of the 119 swings. So Lauren Borick getting a workout in this one. After Borick, it drops off from 15-4 for Abby Jacobs and Tyler Ramstack. For UHSP, they have 39 kills, so they have 6 more kills, but they have 2 more errors, 21 errors. They're hitting 144. They have been blocked 6 times, so 15 unforced errors. Their number went up in that department. Caitlin Sid's been doing it all. She now has a double-double. She's got 10 kills and 16 digs, 8 kills for Allie Lawrence and 8 kills for Amber Liu. So the Pins getting it done for head coach Katie Payne. 15 assists for Ellie Biedenstein, 11 assists for Emma Lapine for Webster, and on the other side, 32 assists for Jenna Brinson. She's been pretty steady as just a freshman playing in her 6th match of her college career. 5 aces for UHSP. It's Josie Barron with 3 of those 5 aces leading the way. Just 4 misses. Great serving. On the other side, 5 aces also for Webster, but they do have 9 misses. 5 different players with aces. 56 digs for the Gorlocks. It's 18 by their libero, Cassie Gray. And on the other side, 4 players in double figures for UHSP. They have 63 digs. They've gotten 16 from Caitlin Sid, 12 from Jenna Brinson, 15 from Catherine Trickey, and Josie Barron with 11. So solid defense for the Eutectics, and they'll start things off with the Brinson serve. And Ramstack seeing every serve. Ball off a tape, a dig for Kira Sid. Caitlin Sid clears. Borick has to give a free ball. She'll get up on the block, but that ball's in on the sideline. Just barely. Alex Whiteside's called it right away, and the call stands. It's a kill for Ellen McQueen. And the Eutectics have scored the first point in all 4 sets. Yeah, maybe not. There was one set I think Webster got the first point. Maybe the last one. Borick coming down the middle. She power tips. Brinson keeps it alive. Sid, that ball's in. Sid has a way. So she's 5'7". The net is 7'4". And I know she's a good leaper, but she just has a way of putting a little lefty topspin on the ball, and it finds the court. She is slicing and dicing. Cassie Gray pops it up. Julia Fry takes a regular swing from the left, but she's dug. Lou puts it in. Power tip this time. That's in on the sideline. Brinson couldn't get it. Borick read the block and used the space between the antenna and the blocker's right hand. Borick now the server. Good pass by Kira Sid. Lou sent it over. Then she gets up on the block against Fry. Ramstack tips. Tricky in perfect position. So is the block against Evelyn McQueen. Jacobs and Ramstack, the 2 freshmen, up with a solid block against McQueen. So the middles, McQueen has 6 kills and Bockhorn has 5. They've taken 31 swings, so they have been part of the offense. Trying to clear the ball, Amber Lou, and missing wildly. And again, the Coach K philosophy, if you're not going to take a full approach and attack the ball, just give the free ball. Down balls and shots like that don't help. Let's see, Lou gets another chance. Credit Brinson, she went right back to her. Then Fry, Brinson with another dig. Sid keeps it alive. Lou's going to get another turn. This time a much more creative shot. McQueen stuffs the over and 2 by Biedenstein. Jacobs finishes off of McQueen, and the Gorlocks have a 2-point lead. We could be in for a 5-setter, volleyball fans, on a Sunday afternoon. The 21st anniversary, unfortunately, of the 9/11 attack. Missed serve, Boric trying to go against the sideline and missed it wide right. Josie Barron in. Can she add to her 3-ace total from the service line? Blocking has been somewhat limited. Just 3 blocks total for UHSP and 6 blocks total for Webster. Good pass by Thompson. Jacobs off of McQueen. Didn't get any help from either her right side or her outside, so she was one-on-one and could not stop Jacobs. Jacobs will now be the server. And she goes just long. Evelyn McQueen will now serve. That means Ella Bockhorn is in the front row. Thompson pulls her setter a little bit to the side, but no problem for Julia Fry to put it in as a right side. Soft shot does not carry over for Allie Lawrence. Gorlocks lead back to 2. So let's see here. Ellie Biedenstein is going to stay on as a right side. Emma Lapine's going to come in as a setter. So we'll see what Biedenstein can do as a blocker and attacker. Interesting switch in set 4. Ramstack off of the block. Detectives control. And the perfect tip to her right again from Ella Bockhorn. She played at Waterloo High School over on the Illinois side. Down Highway 3 a bit. Free ball coming from Ramstack. Barron, perfect pass. Here comes Lawrence coming inside. Had to tip it. Block was there. Sid from well off the net and out of system sends it in. And there's the first swing from Ellie Biedenstein. So she's making her case to be a setter in the back row and a right side in the front row. Boric coming back on. Taylor Thompson coming off. So Coach Graff giving her player of the year a little break with a DS. Boric has been staying on all 6 rotations. Big serve by Ramstack. Perfect pass, Sid. Missing out of bounds is Bockhorn. Looking for the touch. The Eutectics don't get the call. Didn't see any touch on that one. So Coach Mary Graff, she sits at the end of her bench. Coach Katie Payne stands as. Ramstack has a powerful serve, but that one never got mid-net high. Here comes Kira Sid back in. She's going to serve. She plays next to her sister, so they must get along well. Uh-oh. Nobody took that ball. Is that in? It looked out to me. Alex Whiteside didn't call it. If it goes over the antenna, so I think the Eutectics bench have a legitimate complaint. Well, Joe Flanagan checks with Alex Whiteside. So the ball that came in from Biedenstein was over near the Webster bench, and it could have gone over the antenna. But that's not the call. Gorlocks will lead it by 3. Tight pass here. A tough play for Brinson. She's back row. She can't do anything. Jacobs puts it down. Coach Katie Payne might take her first time out. She's going to. So the Eutectics will talk it over. I didn't count the number of players on each roster. There will be a JV match after this one. The YouTube stream, I think, will be up on that one, but we will not be here to broadcast. Mrs. Coach K has a lovely dinner prepared, I have no doubt. So I'm going to head for home, which isn't that far away. Coach K lives in Clayton, Missouri. It's a very short drive over here to the campus of the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy. The Friday schedule, yes, I have it. At least I think I have it. Oh, yes, it did change. That is true. So let's give that schedule as the Eutectics Volleyball Classic will be 2 matches on College Gas. The Eutectics will play Bethel College at 5 p.m. I believe that's Bethel College out of Kansas. There are multiple Bethel colleges. And then they will play Iowa Wesleyan at 7 p.m. So those will both be brought to you on College Cast with Coach K on the play-by-play and Tim Miller here making everything happen. I want to give a shout-out to Peter Lynch, the rugby head coach. He was here with us the last time with his dog, Milu. No touch on that ball from Amber Lou, and this set is getting away quickly from the Eutectics. Cannot give Webster too big a lead, or you'll be playing set 5. Good serving again by Cassie Gray. She gets the dig. Lapine to Boric. Eutectics able to stop Boric. Now she'll get another swing. Dug by Sid. Somehow Ella Bockhorn chopped it through the double block. Boric and Jacobs. The super spike graphic. I haven't noticed the graphics until today. When I was here the other day, I guess I was focusing on. So Peter didn't do the graphics. So it's a kill by Jacobs out of the middle. So it's August Camarado from Heron, Illinois, a second-year grad program pharmacy student, making the graphics happen. You can't see them at home, of course, but we're enjoying them here on the broadcast. And the fans down below, we can't really see the crowd. They're all on the side behind the R1. The server is Biedenstein. Now she's in as a setter across the back row after being a successful right side. Fry sends it over, and then it comes all the way back. Little ping-pong game at the net with Bockhorn and Jacobs. That one crawled through Brinson, and actually it was McQueen in the middle. And the lead is now 6. Eutectics need a side out here and a serving run. They'll get Brinson as their next server. Well, there's a bad choice. She set the libero, but it will come back as a free ball. So Tricky did her job. She made it go over with a little bit of pace. Lou is dug. Tip shot from Boric. McQueen saves it, and then Sid jumping over her sister. That was Caitlin jumping over Kira. Biedenstein forces it all the way to Fry. Caitlin Sid digs it over. Boric has to hustle just to keep that ball alive. Things need to settle down here for both teams, but The play's gotten a little ragged. There's the one and done. Actually, not the one and done, but the over on two by Ellie Biedenstein. She sent it to the corner. Webster does feature the one and done. It's when you send over a short ball right to the setter, say a free ball, they will take it over with hands to the deep corner, and you can't commit a double on that ball. Well, Enzi Howe made the horizontal flag, which means absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. I'm not picking on the young man. He's a cross-country guy. Like I said, either side of the line is good in cross-country. You don't have to stay on one side or the other, but in volleyball you do. Okay, the symbol of a single serpent entwined around a rod is commonly associated with pharmacy. It is a symbol which belongs to which Greek god? That's up on the timeout trivia board here. And Coach K does not know that because I don't know my Greek gods, even though I was in a fraternity. I could do the Greek alphabet 3 times on a match, but that won't help us with this one. I'm going to go Zeus, just because it's the only Greek god I know. And the answer will be up. It's, I can't even pronounce that, Asclepius. Asclepius. How about that? Okay. We all learned something there. So good old Asclepius. Well, we know that Morty McPestle would have been able to answer that if he were up here in the booth. He's down there on the floor. He is the logo. And this is the greatest matchup, the Eutectics against the Gorlocks, two of the most unique names in all of college sports. So 8-point lead, Gorlocks looking like they want to force a set 5, which should be interesting. Fifth sets change the way rotations work. Good play by Fry to control the loose shot. Tricky keeps Boric off the floor. Sid just clears. The tip to the right, that's worked all day for both teams. Bockhorn's made it work. Jacobs made it work. Portell. The middle's tipping to their right. Keeping that ball inside the 5-foot line. So right now for the Tactics, they need to get some momentum. They may not be able to pull out this set. Short serve. Sid keeps it off the floor. And again, Tricky has to clear. Boric also with a clearing ball. McQueen attacks. This ball is blocked. Jacobs and Boric. So Webster in complete control, up 10 here in set number 4. And again, it's not so much about winning this set as getting a little mojo back for UHSP. Long run for McQueen. She won't get set. Lou sends it over softly. Another tip by Jacobs controlled. Cassie Gray digs Sid. There's the one and done by Brinson. But Cassie Gray read it. She probably sees it in practice. Julia Fry from the right side gets the kill. We need a volleyball. There it is. Ellie Biedenstein ran it down herself. Kara Sid pass. Lou. The middle back libero is working for both these teams. Just over the top of the block. Lauren Boric, they list her at 5'11", but she is an excellent leaper. Has been doing that for... She did it for Althoff. She did it for High Performance. And now she's done it for 4 years for Webster. She's been a 4-year starter. Another clearing ball from the libero. Jacobs played it. That ball's out. I will predict that Enzi Howe is regretting his line judging. His timeline judging has not been that enjoyable. He got overruled. He called that in, and Johnny Chittacone called it out. Brinson into the net, so nothing working for the Eutectics. Bork the server. Off of Tricky. That actually worked. A little bit of a beach dig by Tricky, but McQueen tipped out. Brinson trying to encourage her teammates to give her a quality pass, give her a chance here. She's got 3 attackers. She's back right in rotation 1. She gets it to Sid. Sid's blocked. Brinson covers it. Now McQueen's going to joust. And, knuckled over. Nice play, Jacobs, because that ball would not have made it. That looks like 4. Well, it's blocked either way, so they did call 4 contacts as Ramstack went into the net. So no block awarded to the Eutectics. Josie Barron on serve. Well, if anybody can go on a little serving run and at least get this one to a more respectable differential, it is Josie Barron. High ball for Ramstack. She tips. Tricky runs it down. Lawrence can't take a big swing. Sid keeps it alive. Brinson went down trying to get ready for the dig, and a free ball clear. There's the one and done from Biedenstein. She hasn't mastered the Webster one and done. Now that looked like a double. No call. The Eutectic bench wanted the double. Jacobs gets the kill. So UHSP did set a short free ball to Ellie Biedenstein, and she did go over on 1. Ball comes back for the server. 13-point lead. Pretty impossible comeback. At this point, I'm surprised Katie Payne hasn't subbed just to let her starters catch their breath before set 5. Portell in the middle. She tips. Sid keeps it alive. Lawrence scores. Allie Lawrence with a soft roll shot that drops in. Gets the Eutectics in double digits. Always nice. Don't want to finish a set in single digits. Julia Fry is blocked. Bockhorn and Lawrence. So the deficit is still extremely large, but some of that momentum shift the Eutectics need for set 5 is starting. They keep that ball off the floor with defense by Barron. Then another dig from Barron. Sid, cross court. I don't think this will come back. It will not. Kill for Sid, so 3 in a row for the Eutectics. And Barron's on serve. Mary Graff with some directions to her team. Another good serve by Barron. Kept alive and cleared Cassie Gray. Sid, hard angle. She scores. So Mary Graff does not want to take a timeout. But at some point, you have to stop this run. Actually, it wasn't Barron on serve. It was McQueen. Perfect pass by Ramstack. There's the soft tip again. Portell scores. And now the 10-point lead is restored. And Emma Lapine returns. So Mary Graff has used her deep roster, made a couple of subs, and she's about to even this one up. Lawrence rips off of hands, cross court. She scores. Sid will be the server. No significant subs coming from the Eutectics. A serve by Sid. I don't think they've fully established momentum back, but they've certainly helped. I don't think I've ever seen a comeback from 22-9. In fact, I'm certain I haven't. Perfect up to Brinson, and scoring is Bockhorn. Credit the libero, Catherine Tricky. So the Eutectics hanging around. They've cut this one to 7 from what I believe was a 13-point lead. Coming down the middle, and it's Biedenstein with the tip. So she's enjoying her time as a right side. And again, Borick's been coming out for Taylor Thompson. She now returns in the front row. So if the Gorlocks get the ball, I'm sure it'll go out to Lauren Borick for point number 25. Amber Lawrence with the kill. Allie Lawrence, excuse me. Amber Lou and Allie Lawrence. Lawrence now departs for Kira Sid. So Sid serving against 7 set points. We're going to have a towel timeout on the Webster side. Lapine knows where it is, and she's over there fixing it. Getting some help from Ellie Biedenstein. Kira Sid just hanging on to the volleyball. Some servers don't like to hold the ball during a delay, but she continues to bounce it. She's ready. Johnny Chittacone with the beckon for serve. And we are going against set point, and the set is over on that kill by Kaylee Portell. And it's Webster taking it by a score of 25-17. But credit UHSP as they did battle back and turn it into an 8-point victory instead of the 13-point lead. So the two captains meeting with Joe Flanagan. It's Lauren Borick in black and the freshman Jenna Brinson coming over as captain. And Joe Flanagan flips the coin, and it looked like it was serve taken by Lauren Borick. So that's our best guess. We're going to take a short break and come back and bring you the deciding set, the 15-pointer, coming up on College Cast.
We are champions of the character.
Keep up to date with Eutectic soccer, volleyball, and cross-country teams throughout this fall season. Schedules, results, rosters, and other information are all available on the website. Log on to eutecticsports.com. And here's Coach K with set number 5.
Head coach Katie Payne down below with the Eutectics. Her assistant coach Manu Vargas to her right. And we didn't get the names of all the other people on the bench, although some of them are players who are out of action for this one. But after leading 2-1, the Eutectics now are all even at 2 sets apiece. So a 15-point deciding set coming up. I want to give a special shout-out to two youngsters that have made it to this match. Katie Payne's daughter Lola, who is age 8, and her son Busy they made it to the match. Lola told me she would be cheering behind the bench, but I think they're down on the student side. But got to meet Lola and Busy before the match, so they're here supporting their mom as she would love to pull out this fifth set. Webster now hitting 161 to UHSP's 122. They have 49 kills, 19 by Lauren Borick, 10 by Abby Jacobs. Jacob has come on strong here late in this match. On the other side, the Eutectics have 13 kills from Caitlin Sid and 11 kills from Allie Lawrence. Amber Lou and Ella Backhorn each with 8 for the team in gray. 26 assists by Ellie Biedenstein, and she did get 4 kills in, well, I don't know if she got them all in that last set, but she did get several kills because she stayed on as a right side. 14 assists for Emma Lapine, as the teams have switched sides. Now, this is the regular switching situation, so we'll play a 15-point deciding set. The team should switch at 8, unless they've changed that on me. We will find out when we get to 8 points. Coach K's motto for deciding sets: win the first 5 and the first 8. Be the first one to 5, first one to 8. First ball sent over by McQueen. Bork's going to get a chance. What an up by Brinson. Then the set is too tight for Lou. She's looking for a wipe off the block, and she didn't get it. What an up by Brinson on that shot from Bork, straight at her glasses. Self-defense dig. Coach K has been hit in the face wearing glasses with a volleyball. It's not any fun. That ball off of Kira Sid, and Lou loops it. Jacobs with the soft roll shot. Sid read it perfectly. Kira Sid. Caitlin Sid sends it deep. Julia Fry off the block. She's contributed. Didn't play in the first set, but has contributed since as Mary Graff has used her bench. If UHSP doesn't get this point, and they will not, I take a timeout right now. So we will see. The kill on the overpass, I think it was Jacobs. Down 3-0. The worst possible start for head coach Katie Payne. Looks like he wants to see one more serve from Ellie Biedenstein. Sid looping it, and that's out, and now that timeout has to come. And there it is. So, thought about taking it at 3-0, or excuse me, at 0-3, decided to take it at 0-4. That's why your first guess is always your best guess in any kind of test. Take it at 0-3, and you don't see that last swing from Sid because you have a chance to talk it over. So not the ideal start for UHSP. Defensively, 90 digs for UHSP, 24 digs for Caitlin Sid, 22 for Catherine Trickey. On the other side, 85 digs for Webster. Cassie Gray has 29, and then 3 other players in double digits. Biedenstein with 12, Borick with, absolutely, Ramstack with 10, and Borick with 11. And on the other side, Brinson has 17. She's been strong defensively, and Josie Barron with 13. So there are 8 players in double digits in digs. Coach K is going to have to get out the NCAA manual on statistics because there are specific definitions of digs. And these numbers seem, let us just say, a little high. Playing a free ball is not a dig. The coach's point for Katie Payne, so if she'd have taken it one sooner, it would be 1-3, but now it's 1-4. That's okay. You're always happy as a coach when you take a timeout and the other team serves out. Blocking has been stronger for Webster. They have 3 solo blocks and 10 block assists, so that's a total of 8 blocks Eutectics with 2 solo blocks and 4 block assists, so that's a total of 4 blocks as Biedenstein to Borick down the middle. Have to find a way to block that ball. You cannot let Lauren Borick run that high ball in the middle. Good news for UHSP, they have 3 rotations with Borick in the back row. Luke Young signaling zone 5, so that's targeting Lawrence. But that ball is out. Oh, no. It touched Tricky. First referee saw it. I'm not sure if the line judge did, but that's okay. He's doing his best. He's here working. So Borick gets an ace on an inadvertent touch by Tricky. She was trying to get out of the way. Now Lawrence, ball goes over to Sid, kept off the floor by Biedenstein. Out of system ball to Sid. Tool time off the block, Ramstack. And it looks like it's all Gorlocks here in the deciding set as Webster tries to pick up their second win of the season. They will be at Wash U on Wednesday the 14th is their next matchup. Scoring, Evelyn McQueen, Brinson, perfect quick set to her middle. And the Tactics get to go on serve. They need a serving run. Looks like Borick's coming out in the back row, so that means no back row attacks from 22. Serving has been good on both sides. Free ball, that is going to be out, I think, but Barron didn't get any help with the call. So if your teammates don't tell you, you have to play it. This ball's going to not come back. A kill for Jacobs in the middle. And the teams should trade sides, and indeed they are. So we are back to the regular old volleyball, trading sides in the deciding set at point number 8. Coming back from 2-8 is almost impossible. But we shall see. That's why we play. UHSP has 6 aces in this match. As we mentioned, Barron with 3. 6 aces for Webster, but Webster has 12 misses. UHSP only 5. Ace serve. Cassie Gray. Josie Barron. She's been strong on serve receive, but couldn't handle that one. The float serve with the bottom dropping out. Hope to have head coach Katie Payne up for a post-match interview. We'll see. She won't be thrilled by this result unless this score changes. That ball's off the block, and then Sid down the line. Thompson in perfect position. Brinson would like to find somebody who can put the ball away, but Lawrence goes deep corner. Fry is blocked, so that's one way to fix it. Bockhorn and Lawrence combine on the block against Julia Fry. Sid now in the back row as the server. Thompson, excellent pass. Portel, dug by Sid. It'll come back. It's going to go long. Brinson able to keep it out of the net, and Sid sent it long. Lapine returns, and again, as she did in set 4, Biedenstein will play right side. So, technically 4 different right sides used in this match by Mary Graff. She's using all of her roster. Down the line and out from Sid. I have to feel for Kira Sid. Let's see how many swings she's had in this match. She's had 48, so she's had as many as Borick. And that's a challenge for any player. Lawrence, dug by Thompson. Biedenstein with the soft tip, and that scores. And this set is all but over. Coach Katie Payne's going to take a timeout. I think that's her second and final timeout. I don't blame her. you can't let it end like this without giving your players a chance to talk it over in the huddle. UHSP has done some excellent things today, winning sets 1 and 3, but they definitely trailed quite a bit in sets 2 and 4. I want to talk about the schedule coming up this weekend, Friday the 16th, 5 p.m. right here in the RAS. It'll be Bethel College versus your Eutectics. And then at 7 p.m., Iowa Wesleyan. And then on Saturday, there's a noon match, Cotty College, and a 2 p.m. match. Those are all Central Daylight Time, College of the Ozarks. And, on Wednesday night at Fontbonne, Coach K does the broadcast at Fontbonne, but not that one. I will be out, so College Cast will handle it. Tim Miller will take care of that. I appreciate him subbing for me. As they say in broadcasting, I will be on assignment. So Lapine with the serve behind the timeout, and she misses. So Coach has scored 2 points with 2 timeouts in this set, but the problem is her team has only scored the other 2. So the 8-point deficit looming large for the Eutectics, but they've got Kira Sid on serve. That looked like it was off the net, and indeed it was. Biedenstein didn't know, but she hit that ball directly into the net. And the block, it might have touched the blocker's arms through the net, but that ball never went above the top of the net. So Eutectics get a point on the board. They need to cut into it right now. Can't wait any longer if they want to come back. Here's Portell, skips it off the tape. Everything working for Webster. Cassie Gray is fired up after that one. Kaylee Portell with that kill. And now, bad news for UHSB. Boric is back in the front row. So she will probably see the ball. But the missed serve from Tyler Ramstack gives the Eutectics length. Now, you can't play against .14, so you have to score 5 or 6 or 7 right now on the serve of Catherine Trickey. It's a good one, but Ramstack stayed with it and got it. Boric is blocked, so that's a good start. Brinson and McQueen up. The fish tank has gotten very aromatic with the smell of good food. I'm glad August Camarado has gotten dinner. He's going to stay here probably for the JV game, so he needs his dinner. He needs his nutrition. Tricky to serve again. Boric, tight pass. This is going up in the plane. That's an automatic kill, illegal block on Lapine, as that was in the plane. So credit McQueen. She got up and recognized if I touch it, it makes Lapine an illegal blocker. That ball was in the plane. Now, Mary Graff's going to take a timeout. She's not taking any chances. As I said, if Tricky can go on a run and get it to 11, 12, because as soon as she loses serve, it'll be 14 and it'll be set point. So she really needs to even it up and get 4 more in a row. I didn't mention what a eutectic is. A eutectic is when 2 solids. Now, I've got Austin Camarado up here. I should have asked him this question, but a eutectic is when 2 solids are merged together and they make a liquid. And the example given to me years ago by Lindsay McCord, who I hope is a pharmacist by now, although maybe not. She may still be in grad school, were p-toluene and ovanillin. And I'm not sure what either of those are, but those were the examples that Lindsay McCord gave me. So a eutectic is 2 solids that merge together. Now, somebody else said ice and salt, and I thought that was weak. And that didn't really cut. I wanted more chemical. I wanted more science than that. So I'm staying with p-toluene and ovanillin. I'm not sure what that would turn into in terms of that liquid either. So the serve goes long. The coach's point for Mary Graff, as now we are sitting on set point. And the Gorlocks have 6 set points, and it's, let's see, are we going to see Kaylee Portell serve? I don't think she served this entire match. So coach is going to let her middle take a shot. Brinson is blocked. Little joust at the net. We're going to play on. Boric to win it. Dug perfectly by Kira Sid. Lou sends it deep. Jacobs for the win. The Tactics keep it alive. Lou clears. Lapine. Biedenstein tried the tip. Sid's going to clear. So we're having a little drill here. Webster's getting to attack, and the Tactics are playing defense, but it ends on the kill by Ellie Biedenstein from the right side, and Webster takes it by a score of 15-8 in the final set. So for Webster, they improve to 2-0. For UHSP, they fall to 1-5, and they will look forward to their Friday round robin matches. They'll get a chance to play 4 matches this weekend and get victory number 2 and maybe a couple more. We'll see. We'll have that match on College Cast this weekend. So we'll see if Katie Payne comes up and if the final stats come up. As Marcus Parker is going to, I know Marcus Parker is going to bring the final stats up. So that's good. We'll, at a minimum, do that as the teams are working on their high five practices down below and then huddling up. The Webster Gorlocks victorious. Their head coach in blue is Mary Graff. Congratulations to Coach Graff on this 5-set win as they came from down 2-1 to win the last 2 sets. For Coach Katie Payne, she's debating whether she's coming up to see Coach K. And I will forgive her. Well, no, she's got the live stats, although Marcus Parker's going to beat her up here. She doesn't have to come up if she doesn't want to. I wish I could signal to her. Maybe I'll have Marcus. Tell Coach Katie Payne she can skip the interview if she wants to, since it was a 5-setter. So, yeah, she may still come up. Here she comes. No, that's okay. So here she comes. We wanted to visit with the coach. It's her 3rd year here at UHSP, and she's got some things going on for the team. We'll go over the final stats before she comes up. Yeah, she's going to go over and congratulate Mary Graff. I'm sure they've known each other for a while. After all, Mary Graff once coached at St. Louis College of Pharmacy. So final numbers for Webster, they hit 164. They got 57 kills, 20 by Lauren Boric, 12 by Abby Jacobs, and 6 each by Kaylee Portell and Ellie Biedenstein. 30 assists by Biedenstein, 17 by Emma Lapine off the bench. 8 aces for the Gorlocks, 2 by Boric and 2 by Cassie Gray, 15 misses. They got 98 digs, 31 by Cassie Gray, so there's a number to shoot for. 14 by Tyler Ramstack, 13 by Ellie Biedenstein, and 12 by Lauren Boric. For UHSP, they hit 094. They had 50 kills with 32 errors. 13 kills by Caitlin Sid, 11 by Allie Lawrence, and then 8 each by Amber Lou, Evelyn McQueen, and Ella Backhorn. And 42 assists for Jenna Brinson, the freshman setter. 6 aces and 6 misses, so good serving. Josie Barron led the way with 3 aces. And then 99 digs. Catherine Trickey with 23. Caitlin Sid even better with 26. 19 for Jenna Brinson, the setter, and 14 for Josie Barron. A total of 7 blocks for UHSP, and on the other side, a total of 8 blocks. So those numbers are fairly even. The Gorlocks take it in 5 sets. First set was 25-16. UHSP. Webster came back and won set 2, 25-22. Then the most exciting set of the day was a 27-25 UHSP victory in set number 3, followed by a 25-17 Webster win and then a 15-8 deciding set. Coach Katie Payne joins me. She's got the headset on as we appreciate her coming all the way up. It's a long way up to the fish tank, isn't it?
It is.
It is. We're high above the floor down here, and we're going to get ready for a JV games. So that's nice that some of the players get a little time on camera as they do their warm-ups for a JV match here. But you had to like the first 3 sets. You certainly dominated the first set. It was a tight second set. And then I thought the most exciting set of the day was that third set where you take it by a score of 27-25. Your players really responded because that's a strong Webster team.
For sure. We've never beat Webster.
Okay.
We were really hoping that we would take that win today, but we got a little tired, I think.
Yeah, I think you did wear down a little bit, and credit Mary Graff. She's a crafty coach, 22 years. She used to coach here at St. Louis College of Pharmacy for 5 years, many years ago. But she used a number of players on her bench. I don't think you maybe have the depth that she has where you can go to your subs. It seems like right now what you need is you need your outside hitters to put the ball away. You're depending an awful lot on Caitlin Sid. It's rare when somebody has more swings than Lauren Borick, but Borick had 53 and Sid had 58.
Yeah, we use her in the back row too, so she gets a lot of swings from both the front row and the back row.
Yeah, I like her all-around play. She is an outstanding player. She's not the biggest player in the world, but when she's in there, and she even gets up on some blocks. I think she got a block assist today. And then she plays next to her sister, which is always interesting. My wife doesn't get along with her sister, so I always figured that's going to be tough. But those two really communicate quite well.
Yeah, they play really well together. They're in sync pretty much all the time. I think it just comes natural to them from playing together at home. So.
And I want to compliment your setter, Jenna Brinson. Now, she had 42 assists and 19 digs in this match, and she did not get an ideal pass every time. You wouldn't want to put a Fitbit on her and keep track of her mileage on the court because she had to run a lot. But I thought she held up pretty well, and her energy level stayed. She was trying to find a hitter who could put the ball away, and sometimes that wasn't easy.
Yeah. She's a really even-keeled player. She doesn't get too high or too low, so it's really important and helpful for us to keep on that level. So we're really happy to have picked her up this year.
Yeah, she's a great addition. And then your two middles, Evelyn McQueen and Ella Backhorn, I think they're going to be big for you. Their numbers weren't great today, and that's a pretty good block on the other side. But that's something that you've got to feature this season. You've got to be able to get those two the ball in system and get some kills out of the middle, particularly on the slide. If you're running a 5-1, you want to run a lot of slides. I don't know that you were able to run as many as you would like today.
No, I think our defense was really scrappy and played really well, but our ball control wasn't necessarily all that great. We were getting balls up, but it wasn't making it easier on Jenna to make those slides, to set those slides. But she did a great job with what she was given. So.
Well, she had a lot of mileage. And then one last player I'd like to mention, Catherine Tricky, or Libro. She had 23 digs. And actually, I want to mention your DS because she served 3 aces, Josie Barron.
Yeah,
those two guys in the back row, they really are strong for you, and I think that's something you'll be able to build on all season.
Yeah, for sure. Both Josie and Kira have great serves. That float serve is great for us. And when we serve well, we do well. I think we didn't serve quite as well in the sets we lost, and it showed. But
yeah, your totals for the day, you'll take 6 aces and 6 airs, but the catch was late in the match you didn't pick up those big aces.
Yeah.
You had 6 aces, I think, after 3 sets, so you didn't get any aces in the last 2 sets. Well, we appreciate you coming up, Katie Payne. You've got a lot of things to work on, but the great news for you is you get 4 matches right here setting up the court in the RAS sideways, and we'll be here for all 4 of those matches. I'll be here for the 2 on Friday, so an opportunity to bounce right back. And before that, I guess, do you have a match? Let's see. Do you have a match at Fontbonne on Wednesday night? I won't be here for that one, so we wish you all the best. Thanks for coming up, and I hope Lola and Busy enjoyed the match.
They did. They were cheering us on from the side.
You know, I was hoping they would go behind your bench and cheer so we could get them on camera, but that didn't happen. Well, they were great. They were part of it. I want to thank Katie Payne for coming on up. And for Tim Miller, I'm Coach K. That's all from the RAS as Webster takes it in 5 sets as the Gorlocks improved to 2-0 and UHSP falls to 1-5. The Eutectics will be at Fontbonne on Wednesday night, and then a couple of matches Friday night at 5 and 7 here in the RAS. Come join us for those ones if you can't be here in person. As I said, for Tim Miller, this is everything from the RAS, I'm Coach K. Thanks for watching.